Regular physical activity is important in maintaining good health and reduces the risk of overweight or obesity, high blood pressure, and type 2 diabetes, and improves the physiological well-being of young people. Only 4 in 10 young people, 44%, met physical activity guidelines in 2007 and 8. However, rates were substantially lower in those living in outer regional and remote areas combined, 34%, and Indigenous young people, 14%, in 2004 and 5, according to the Australian Institute of Health and Welfare. The 2014-15 National Health Survey says only 52% of young people aged 18 to 24 were seen to be active. 44% of young people aged 12 to 17 years spent 1.5 hours per day on physical activity and over 2 hours per day in screen-based activity, with physical activity decreasing and screen-based activity increasing as age increased. Australian Government Department of Health surveyed in 2011 and 12, on average 44% of young people had at least one type of screen-based item, TV, computer or game console, in their bedroom, and this was associated with them spending an extra 2 hours per week watching or playing screen-based media compared to those who did not have such an item in their bedroom. The National Physical Activity Guidelines recommend that children do not exceed more than 2 hours non-educational screen time per day. The CSIRO in 2007 suggested children who do are more likely to be overweight, be less physically active, consume foods high in sugar, salt and fat, and have fewer social interactions. Only 1/3 of children and 1 in 10 young people undertook the recommended 60 minutes of physical activity every day, with a variety of activities from moderate to vigorous intensity, according to the survey. A recent pedometer study by the Australian Government Department of Health recorded an average of 9,140 steps per day by individuals, while only 7% of 15 to 17-year-olds were likely to reach this number of steps. Physical activity recommendations should be adopted by parents, teachers, caregivers, coaches, policymakers, healthcare and cross-sector providers, as well as service infrastructure providers. This is in addition to children and young people aged 12 to 24 years. All adults should play a role in teaching their children to become more active. Adults can educate the younger generation in reducing health risks by minimising the time they spend being sedentary every day. Limit the use of electronic media for entertainment, such as TVs, seated electronic games, and computer use, to no more than 2 hours per day. Lower levels are associated with reduced health risks, so you can break up long periods of sitting as often as possible. Promote sport and physical activity among your community and make sport accessible to all abilities for those aged between 12 and 24 years. Develop an overreaching coordination role through the development of innovation centres that unite academics, policymakers, federal, state and local implementation providers.
Created using Powtoon.